In an earlier video, I showed the construction of the main staircase in one of our half-timbered houses, but this did not mean that every area was now accessible. Stairs to the upper attic floors were still missing, and a connecting staircase to the other house still was to be made. Let's start with the stairs in the northern house. In order not to have to change the valuable roof truss unnecessarily, I choose this spot where a collar beam was already missing anyway. I was planning not to let the stairs run straight, but to let them curve slightly at the bottom end. Otherwise you would have bumped your head on the purlin. The first thing to do was to plane the boards for the stringers. Then I had to draw the curved edges. The exact shape results from the front edges of the steps. I wanted to build the stairs in a traditional way, so with steps that are embedded in the stringers. This is a bit of work, especially for chiseling out the mortises, but the result is way better than all other solutions. I did not use risers so that light can fall through the stairs. A large bandsaw simply is a wonderful machine for such work. As a handrail, I wanted to reuse an old one and therefore adapted the post accordingly. I mortised this railing post along the entire dimension of the stringer. With other stair structures, I had the experience that the secure connection of these posts is very important if nothing is supposed to look shaky afterwards. Then I tried to fit in the steps. On the spot, I first mounted the right, longer stringer and inserted the steps here. Then I put the left stringer at an angle and let the steps slide one by one into the mortises. Sounds easier than it is. There are two methods of fixing: gluing or bracing with steel rods. I choose the steel rods. Maybe there will be some creaking without glue, but I will be able to take it apart again. The making of the railings and handrails on the stairs was anything but easy, but in the end it worked out as desired. Now to two special stairs in the attic of the southern house. There the challenge was to create access to the upper levels of the attic in two places with really not much space. In particular, the stairs should not block the door of the bathroom below. First of all, I chose suitable ash planks from my self-sawn wood stocks to use them as steps. I did not have the straight stringers in the necessary length and therefore had to buy them. Again I spent some time marking the steps on the stringers. While doing this work, you have to pull yourself together so you don't make mistakes, otherwise the stairs will be unusable afterwards. Connections for the railing posts also had to be made again. This time, however, I had no place for a wooden handrail, but wanted to implement a completely different idea. I drilled holes diagonally in the posts to pull through thick ropes. I did not want to join the stairs into the stringers with mortises, but tried dowels. Of course, this was easier to prepare, especially since I had efficient helpers. But then came the assembly. Attaching the posts was easy and everything fit perfectly.
Jetzt kann man wegputzen. Ja, das machen wir bis da rein.
Ist das so stehen?
Ja, es soll.
But it wasn't fun to get the many dowels into the holes. Eventually, every dowel had found its hole, and we were able to put the stairs in place. The narrowness is particularly clear when viewed from above. A railing was still to be built, then the access to the upper level was complete. But I wanted to build the third staircase in a completely different way. I had to overcome the different levels of the attics of the two houses by inserting 5 steps. I remembered that I still had a big timber laying around. Initially, it was intended as a new post in the roof structure, but it had been possible to do an easier repair without it. By the way, tip from Matthias Wandel. I wanted to build a block staircase with it and struggled to saw up the beam diagonally. I had to repair a few drying cracks. Then some planing. For mounting the steps, I simply used 2 square timbers at an angle. I assembled the block steps with dowels on these timbers. It was a very exhausting job, especially handling the heavy block steps, but the result rewarded all the effort. It just feels completely different to walk on stairs like this, no swinging, no rumbling. When I think about the fact that I made a provisional transition between the roofs here years ago, which I used for a long time with only a shaky makeshift staircase, I realize how much has changed here since.